Hello and welcome to Short Story Scene. I'm your hostess, storyteller, and here we have a tale called Inferno by Dante Alighieri, Canto 23. Silent along without company, we went in one in front and the other after, as go the minor friars along their way. Upon the fable espoused and the directed my thought by reasoning of the present quarrel, where we had spoken the frog and mouse. For Mo and Isa are not more alike than the one in this and that, and if will we couple, end in beginning with a steadfast mind, and even as one is thought from another springs, so after from that was born another, which the first fear within me double made. Thus did I ponder. These on our account are laughed to scorn, and the injury and scoff so great, that much I think it must annoy them. If anger be engrafted on ill will, they will come up after us more merciless than dog upon a leveret which he seizes. I felt my hair stand all on end already, with terror, and stood backwardly intent, when I, Master, if thou hidest not thyself and me forthwith, and Malbranch, I am in dread. We have them now behind us, and so imagine them I already feel them. And he, if I were made of leaded glass, thine outward image I should not attract, sooner to me than I imprint the inner. Just now the thoughts came in along my own, in similar attitude and similar face, so that of both one counsel soul I made, if peradventure in right back so slope that we or the next Bolgia can descend, we shall escape from the imagined chase. Not yet in the finish rendering such opinion, when I beheld them come with outstretched wings, not far remote, with will the seize upon us. My leader on the sudden seized me up, even the mother who by noise is wakened, and close behind her seizing kindled flames, who takes her son and flies and does not stop, having more care for him than of herself, so that she clothes her only with a shrift, and downward from the top of the hard bank, Serpine he gave him the pendant rock, that one side of the other Bolgia walls. Never ran so swiftly water through the sluice, and turned the wheels of any land-built mill, when nearest to the paddles it approaches, as did my master down along the border, bearing me with him on his breast away, as his own son, and not as a companion, hardly the bed of the ravine below. His feet had reached, ere they were reached, the hill, right over us, but he was not afraid. For the high providence which had ordained to the place the ministers of the fifth mote, the power thence departing took from all. A painted people there below we found, who had went about the footsteps very slow, weeping and in their sombrance tired and vanquished. They had no mantles with the hoods low down, and before their eyes in fashion of the cut, that that they for the monks are made, without that they are gilded so that it dazzles, but inwardly all laden is so heavy that Frederick used to put them on of straw, of everlasting fatiguing mantle. Again we turned us still the left hand, among with them intent on their sad paint, and owing in the way of their weary folk, came on us tardy, that we are no new in company in each motion of the haunch. Whence I unto my leader, see thou find someone who may deed or name be known, and thus in going move thine eye about. And one who understood the Tuscan speech cried to us from behind, Stay ye your feet, ye who run athwart in dusky air. Perhaps thou have from me what thou demandest. Whereat the leader turned him and said, "Wait," and then according to his pace proceeded. I stopped, and too beheld I show great haste of spirit in their faces to be with me. But the burden in the narrow way delayed them. When they came up, along with an eye askance, and scanned me without uttering a word, then each other turned and said together, "Here by the action in his throat seems leaving it, and if they're dead are, by the privilege, and they uncover by the heavy stole." Then said to me, "Tuscan, who to the college and miserable hypocrites art come, do not disdain us who thou art. And I them born was I, and grew up in the great town on the fair river of Arno, and with the body am I've always had. But who are ye in whom these trickles down along your cheeks, so grief as I behold, and what pain is upon you that so sparkles?" And one replied to me, "These orange cloaks are made of lead so heavy that the ways cause in the way their branches to creak, and fritti gondinta were we in Bulginus and Cantalona, and he Lord Ringo named it together, taken by the city. As the wont and in the take one man alone in the maintenance of its peace, we were such that still apparent round Gardingo. O friars, began I, your inquiritius, and said no more, for the mine eyes there rushed, one sacrificed, and 3 stakes on the ground. When me he saw, he withered himself all over, and blowing into his beard with suspirations, and the friar Cataline, who noticed this, said to me, "This transfixed one whom thou seest cancelled the friaresses, and it was meant to put one man to torture for the people. Crosswise and naked is he on the path, and thou perceivest that he needs must feel, whoever passes first, how much he weighs. And in like mode his father-in-law is punished within this mote, and the others of the council, which for the Jews was malignant seed. And thereupon I saw a Virgilius marvel over him who had extended on the cross so vilely an eternal banishment. And he directed to his friar this voice, "Be not displeased if granted thee to tell us if to the right hand any path slope down, by which we too many issue forth from here, without constraining some of the black angels to come and extricate us from this deep." Then he made an answer, "Nearer than thou hopest there is a rock, and forth from the great circle proceeds across all the cruel valleys, save at this broken, and does not bridge it. You will be able to mount up this ruin in sidelong slopes, and at the bottom rises." The leader stood a while with his head bowed down, and said, "The business Bailey he recounted, who grapples with his hook the sinners yonder, and the friar, many of the devil's vices once heard I the Bulgina, and along them, and he's the liar of the fathers of lies." There my leader with the great strides went on, somewhat disturbed with anger in his looks. Hence from the heavy laden I departed, after the prints of his beloved feet. And that concludes our story, Inferno by Dante Alighieri, Canto 23. If you like this content and would like to support it, please head on to Patreon. That is www.patreon.com/shortstoryscene. And I would like to thank my patron Drag for all your help. And thank you all for listening, and see you next episode. Bye!